One of the things that I noticed in some of the coverage of the engagement is this narrative of a woman who was sort of plucked from the masses to become royalty. And what that storyline misses is the fact that Meghan Markle is a very accomplished woman. And with that prominence, with her success, she developed and cultivated a platform that allows her to be a very impressive and quite eloquent and highly intelligent spokesperson for women's rights and social inclusion. Meghan's career, she has really made use of the platforms that she has had, right? So she has been outspoken as an advocate for women's rights. She has been committed to inclusion and diversity. And it's that social advocacy that I hope will continue and seems to be prepared. It seems like it will continue with this new position. And I think that if you're a person who likes intelligence, and self-confidence, and a passion for the arts, and a commitment to doing social good and being a social advocate for the betterment of others, then I could see how that pairing could be quite successful.
Ever wondered about Meghan Markle's life before the royal saga? Today we delve into that untold story. Meghan Markle, a woman known to many, yet truly understood by few. Before the glittering tiaras and the royal tours, Meghan was a student at Northwestern University, paving her path under the mentorship of her esteemed professor, Harvey Young. Now, Professor Young wasn't just any professor. He held the keys to the intriguing world of studies in black performance, a class where Meghan wasn't merely another face in the crowd. She was engaged, she was thoughtful, and most importantly, she was passionate about making a difference. Her thirst for knowledge and her drive to effect change didn't stop at the university gates. Meghan carried these qualities into the world, channeling them into activism. She didn't just talk about change, she embodied it. She didn't just dream about making a difference, she went out there and did it. From the halls of Northwestern University to the corridors of the US Embassy in Argentina, Meghan was a force to be reckoned with. Her former professor attests to this, painting a picture of a young woman deeply involved in international affairs, a far cry from the one-dimensional figure often portrayed in the media. Meghan Markle was not just another student passing through. She was a young woman who lived, breathed, and actively pursued her beliefs. Her passion for activism and her deep involvement in international affairs were not a prelude to her royal life. They were the very core of who she was, and indeed, who she continues to be. So the next time you think of Meghan Markle, remember the woman who walked the halls of Northwestern University, the woman who dedicated her life to activism, the woman who was not just another student passing through, but a woman deeply involved in activism and international affairs. Before the tiaras and royal duties, Meghan was a woman on a mission. She set her sights not just on success, but on making a real difference in the world. Meghan's academic journey was impressive and far-reaching, taking her all the way to Argentina, where she served in the US Embassy. This wasn't some glamorous assignment. She was there on the front lines, getting hands-on experience in international affairs. Meghan wasn't just a spectator. She was an active participant in the world. Her time in Argentina was a testament to her dedication, her passion, and her desire to be more than just a face in the crowd. She didn't just want to understand the world, she wanted to change it. And change it she did by using her platform to shine a spotlight on the social issues that mattered to her. But Meghan's activism wasn't born in Argentina. It began much earlier at Northwestern University. It was there that she began to grapple with the complexities of race and gender, under the guidance of Professor Harvey Young. Meghan didn't shy away from these difficult conversations. Instead, she leaned into them, eager to explore, to learn, and to grow. These were not just academic exercises for Meghan, they were deeply personal. She was not just learning about the world, she was learning about herself. Her identity as a biracial woman informed her perspective and fueled her passion for social justice. So when you hear about Meghan Markle, don't just think of her as a duchess or an actress. Think of her as an academic, an activist, a woman who has always been driven to make a difference. Meghan Markle was not just preparing for a life of royal duties, she was preparing for a life of global impact. And no matter what the tabloids say, that is a legacy that cannot be erased. Suddenly, the media's darling became its favourite target. But why? The answer to this question is as complex as it is simple. As soon as Meghan Markle became a part of the royal family, the narrative began to shift. The media, which had once celebrated Meghan's achievements and applauded her activism, began to paint her in a different light. This shift wasn't lost on Professor Young, Meghan's former educator at Northwestern University. He observed this change, and he wasn't impressed. The media's portrayal of Meghan post her marriage was disappointing to say the least, he said. Here was a woman who had always been committed to making a difference, suddenly reduced to just another royal. The media, which had once lauded Meghan for her work in international affairs, now seemed to be questioning her every move. The same Meghan who had worked at the US Embassy in Argentina, who had been an advocate for gender and racial equality, was now being criticized for speaking out on the very same issues. Professor Young didn't hold back in his defense of Meghan. To suggest that Meghan wasn't prepared for royal life is ridiculous, he said. She had more experience on the global stage than some of the royals born into it. She had always been deeply aware of social issues and the complexities of race and gender. That didn't change when she became a royal. It became clear that the media's spin on Meghan was not just about her, but about society's expectations of what a royal should be. The media's shift in narrative revealed more about their biases than about Meghan herself. The same media that once celebrated Meghan began to tear her down, but Meghan's former professor is here to set the record straight. Professor Young's message was clear. Meghan Markle is more than just a royal. She's an activist, an academic, and a woman who has always been committed to making a difference. And no amount of media spin can change that. Meghan Markle, a powerhouse then, a powerhouse now. Let's delve deeper into this idea. What makes a powerhouse? Is it just a term we throw around to describe someone who's successful, or does it entail more? Well, according to Professor Young, Meghan Markle embodies this term in every possible way. Meghan's academic prowess was evident in her Northwestern days. Her former professor describes her as an engaged and thoughtful student, never shying away from complex discussions around race, gender, and social issues. But her intellectual strength is just one facet of her powerhouse persona. Beyond academics, Meghan has always been passionate about activism. She worked on the global stage, even before her royal days, at the US Embassy in Argentina. Her drive to make a difference, to influence, to change was always a part of her. This is not a persona crafted for the public eye. This is Meghan Markle, the person she's always been. Meghan's character too is a testament to her powerhouse status. She never backed down from her beliefs, even in the face of harsh criticism. She stood her ground, refused to be silenced, and continued to raise her voice for what she believed in. This resilience, this strength of character, is what truly defines a powerhouse. And let's not forget her impact. Meghan's work in activism, her voice in championing social issues, has made waves globally. She's not just a passive participant in societal discourse. She's an active contributor, an influencer, a change-maker. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the mark of a true powerhouse. In the face of adversity, Meghan has remained steadfast. Her achievements, her character, her impact, they all paint a picture of a woman who was always a force to be reckoned with. The media spin, the harsh criticisms, the royal circus, none of it can diminish the powerhouse that is Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle has always been a powerhouse. No amount of media spin can erase that. It's time we put some respect on Meghan Markle's name. You see, the Meghan Markle we've talked about today isn't a figment of tabloid imagination. She's a woman of substance, a powerhouse of intellect, activism, and resilience. The Meghan we've come to appreciate through the words of her former professor, Harvey Young, is a woman committed to using her voice and her platform to make a difference. Let's not forget Meghan's academic prowess, her engagement in Professor Young's class, her deep understanding of social issues, the complexities of race and gender. Her academic journey didn't just stop at Northwestern University. She leveraged her knowledge and passion to make a substantial difference in the real world. Meghan's stint at the US Embassy in Argentina is a testament to her dedication and her understanding of international affairs. And then there's Meghan, the activist. Long before the royal circus, Meghan was already making her mark in the world. She wasn't just playing dress-up. She was out there making a change, challenging the status quo. Meghan's activism wasn't an afterthought. It was a part of her identity, an integral part of her story. But what's most striking is Meghan's resilience amid the media spin. Despite the harsh spotlight, the relentless scrutiny and the double standards, Meghan has stood her ground. She has refused to let the media define her. Instead, she has continued to use her voice, her platform, to champion the causes she believes in. Professor Young's call for respect for Meghan isn't just about acknowledging her achievements. It's about recognizing her strength, her courage, and her unwavering commitment to making a difference. It's about understanding that Meghan Markle is not just a royal. She's a woman of substance, a woman of strength, a woman who has used her platform to challenge the status quo and to advocate for change. Meghan Markle, a woman of substance and strength. It's time we recognize that.